Welcome to the deep dive. We're jumping straight into something pretty fascinating today. Proteolytic enzymes, sometimes called systemic enzymes. Basically, they're proteins, right, that help break down other proteins in your body.
Exactly.
And, well, they're getting a lot of buzz lately for potentially easing inflammation, helping tissues heal, generally supporting immune and circulatory systems.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you've looked into this at all, you've probably come across Seaprose S and Serrapeptase.
Right, those two names pop up a lot.
Sure. They're both proteolytic enzymes. They both seem promising, but, well, how they act, how your body uses them, maybe what they're best for, there are some key differences.
Okay.
Really worth digging into, I think.
Absolutely. So that's our goal for this deep dive. We've got some insights from an article, Seaprose S versus Serrapeptase 4/1825. And we want to, really get to grips with what makes these two enzymes different and maybe explore why Seaprose S might be sort of a preferred broad-spectrum choice for that long-term whole-body support.
Yeah, that's the key question, isn't it? The long-term picture.
Okay, let's dive in then. Starting with Seaprose S. What actually is it?
Okay, Seaprose S. You might also see it called Protease S or actinase. It's a semi-alkaline enzyme.
Semi-alkaline, meaning?
Meaning it works best in a slightly basic environment. Think like your intestines.
Not the stomach acid.
Exactly, which kind of hints at why it's often gentler on the stomach.
Okay, makes sense.
And the origin is interesting. It comes from a fungus, Aspergillus milius.
A fungus, okay.
Yeah, so fungal kingdom source. And being proteolytic, its main job is breaking down proteins that, well, cause issues like swelling and congestion.
Right, those problematic proteins. The article we looked at mentions three main actions: anti-inflammatory, anti-edematous, and mucolytic. Can you break those down a bit?
Sure. So anti-inflammatory, that's pretty straightforward, right? It helps calm down inflammation,
Yeah.
soothe the fire, basically.
Got it.
Anti-edematous, that's about reducing excess fluid buildup. The puffiness, the swelling in tissues.
After an injury, maybe.
Yeah, or post-surgery, things like that. And mucolytic, that's all about tackling mucus, especially that thick, sticky stuff in your airways or sinuses.
Thinning it out.
Exactly, making it thinner, easier to clear out.
Okay, so that sounds like it could be really helpful for people dealing with, say, chronic bronchitis, sinusitis, maybe even asthma, or that swelling after surgery you mentioned.
Precisely. The article points to those kinds of conditions.
So how does it actually do that? On a biological level, what's the mechanism?
Okay, so it gets interesting here. It seems to work in a few ways. First, it helps manage the activity of certain white blood cells, neutrophils.
Okay.
Now, neutrophils are needed to fight infection, but if they go overboard, they can actually make inflammation worse.
Right, like too much of a good thing.
Kind of. So Seaprose S seems to help, keep them in check. Second, it actively lowers levels of certain inflammatory chemicals.
Chemicals.
Like things like interleukin-6 IL-6 and tumor necrosis factor alpha, TNF-SE. Think of them as inflammation alarm signals.
And Seaprose S turns down the volume.
That's a good way to put it, yeah. And there's another thing. It seems to offer some protection against oxidative stress.
Oxidative stress.
Free radicals.
Exactly. That damage from unstable molecules, which can increase during chronic inflammation, Seaprose S seems to help neutralize that a bit.
Wow, okay. So it's tackling inflammation from a few different angles and even helping with cell protection.
Oh, it seems that way.
And the article really emphasizes that it's gentle on the stomach, which honestly is a big deal if you're thinking about taking something daily.
It really is. That gentleness is a huge part of why it's considered suitable for daily and, importantly, for long-term use.
Okay, makes sense. Now, let's switch gears. Serrapeptase, what's the story there?
Right, serrapeptase, or serratiopeptidase. This one has a pretty cool origin story.
Oh, yeah.
Originally found in silkworms.
Silkworms? No way.
Yeah, apparently it helps them dissolve their cocoons to get out.
Oh, okay.
Now, though, it's typically produced using bacteria Serratia marcescens fermentation. But like Seaprose S, it's all about breaking down unwanted proteins. Okay, bacterial source this time. And what are its key properties? The article mentioned fibrinolytic.
That's the big one for serrapeptase. Fibrinolytic meaning it breaks down fibrin.
And fibrin is?
Fibrin is a protein heavily involved in blood clotting, but also in forming scar tissue, adhesions, that sort of thing.
Okay, so it breaks that down.
Exactly. It's also anti-inflammatory, like Seaprose S, reducing swelling. And it has analgesic properties.
Pain relief.
Yeah, pain relief, especially pain linked to inflammation.
Okay, so fibrin breakdown, inflammation, pain relief. That explains why the article mentions uses like post-surgical recovery, arthritis, chronic sinus infections, even things like fibrocystic breast conditions.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's maybe more targeted at tougher stuff like that fibrin.
That seems to be its specialty, yeah. While Seaprose S might be more about mucus and general inflammation, Serrapeptase really goes after fibrin.
And how does it work? What's the mechanism there?
Well, primarily by directly dissolving that fibrin. That helps the body clear out things like, small clots, dead tissue, excess fluids that build up after an injury or surgery.
Okay.
And it also seems to regulate compounds like bradykinin and prostaglandins.
Ah, those are involved in pain and inflammation signals too, right?
They are, yeah. So it influences those pathways as well.
Got it. But the article also flags some potential downsides, digestive issues, and something about blood clotting.
Yes, that's a really important distinction between the two. Serrapeptase can cause digestive upset for some people, bloating, nausea, gas, especially without food.
Okay.
But the more significant point is its fibrinolytic action breaking down fibrin. That means potential interactions with blood-thinning medications.
Right, like warfarin or aspirin.
Exactly. And it also means caution is needed for anyone with a bleeding disorder because it can theoretically interfere with clotting.
Okay, that's a crucial difference. Seaprose S doesn't seem to have that issue.
Not that's been widely reported, no. That's a key differentiator.
All right. So we've looked at them individually. Let's put them side by side. The article had a useful comparison table. What jumps out immediately?
Well, like we said, the source, right? Fungal for Seaprose S, bacterial for Serrapeptase.
Okay.
Then the primary action. Seaprose S leaning towards mucus thinning, general inflammation. Serrapeptase more towards fibrin breakdown, pain relief.
And the mechanisms reflect that.
Yeah. Seaprose S lowers mucus, modulates those inflammatory chemicals like IL-6 and TNF-alpha. Serrapeptase dissolves fibrin, regulates pain compounds like bradykinin.
Gotcha. And the common uses line up with that too. Respiratory chronic inflammation for Seaprose S versus post-surgery, arthritis, scar tissue stuff for Serrapeptase.
Seems to be the general pattern, yeah.
What about tolerance? Stomach issues?
Big difference there, according to the article. Seaprose S is listed as having high stomach tolerance, generally easygoing.
Okay.
Serrapeptase is moderate, can cause those GI issues we mentioned.
And the blood clotting risk, that's the major safety point.
Definitely. Seaprose S seems to have no significant effect on clotting. Serrapeptase does affect clotting because it breaks down fibrin. Needs caution.
Right. So if you were to sum it up based on that comparison, Seaprose S looks maybe better suited for longer-term, ongoing support. Respiratory, immune, general inflammation.
That's what it points towards, yeah.
While Serrapeptase might be more for specific, maybe shorter-term situations, like recovery from an injury or surgery.
Potentially, yes. More targeted for those acute phases involving fibrin buildup or significant pain.
Okay. Now, the article argues pretty strongly that Seaprose S could be the preferred broad-spectrum enzyme for daily use. Let's unpack why. First point. Improved respiratory support.
Right. This goes back to its mucolytic action.
Yes, the mucus.
Exactly. Breaking down that thick, sticky stuff. So for sinus congestion, asthma, bronchitis, it could really help clear things out, make breathing easier.
The article mentioned studies suggesting it might even be better than some other enzymes for that.
Yeah, it referenced some findings suggesting superior performance in supporting clearer airways. For someone struggling chronically with that, it could be a big quality of life improvement.
Absolutely. Okay, second advantage, lower risk of side effects or drug interactions. This feels key, especially after discussing serrapeptase and clotting.
It's huge. The fact that Seaprose S doesn't seem to mess with blood clotting makes it a much safer bet for a wider range of people.
Especially those already on blood thinners or with heart concerns.
Precisely. And add to that the minimal digestive risk. It just makes it more accessible, especially for sensitive stomachs.
Which leads right into the third point. Better for long-term use. If it's gentle and doesn't have those clotting concerns.
Then taking it daily, consistently, over months or even years for chronic issues becomes much more feasible, much more practical.
You don't have that nagging worry about side effects building up.
Exactly. That tolerability is crucial for managing anything long-term.
Okay. And the final point was about benefits beyond just inflammation and mucus. Reducing oxidative stress, modulating immune activity. Sounds like broader health support.
It does. Think about it. Chronic low-grade inflammation, oxidative stress, they're linked to so much, right? Aging, various chronic diseases. So if Seaprose S helps address those underlying factors, it's not just symptom relief. It could be more foundational support for cellular health.
And the immune modulation part.
Yeah.
balancing things out.
Yeah, the idea is it might help balance an immune system that's either overreacting or underperforming, suggests a wider influence on overall well-being.
Okay, so putting it all together, how is Seaprose S typically used? The article mentioned broad-spectrum formulas.
Right. You often find it included in enzyme blends designed for multiple purposes: tissue healing, respiratory health, immune balance, post-surgical recovery, managing inflammation.
And it works well with other enzymes, like
Oh,
bromelain.
exactly. There can be synergy. Combining it with something like bromelain, which is also anti-inflammatory, or peptidase for protein digestion, or catalase, an antioxidant, you potentially get a more powerful, comprehensive effect.
A team effort, basically.
Kind of, yeah, creating a broader base of support.
And the article contrasted this with serrapeptase again, suggesting serrapeptase is maybe more of a solo act for specific short-term jobs.
That seems to be the implication. Great for hitting hard on fibrin and acute pain swelling post-surgery, perhaps.
But maybe less ideal for that everyday long-haul support because of the side effects and clotting risks we talked about.
That's a reasonable takeaway from the comparison, yeah. Serrapeptase has its place, definitely. But for ongoing daily wellness support, Seaprose S looks like a really interesting candidate due to its gentler profile and wider range of potential benefits.
So wrapping this up, it feels like both enzymes clearly have value. They do different things.
Absolutely. They're not interchangeable.
But Seaprose S really emerges, especially from this article's perspective, as potentially a very useful option if you're looking for something gentle, well-rounded, versatile for everyday long-term use.
I agree. It offers that compelling mix: respiratory support, inflammation management, immune balance, good safety profile, makes it a strong contender for broad spectrum enzyme support.
And the article even mentioned a specific example, Enzyme, as a blend that uses Seaprose S alongside other things like nattokinase, bromelain, peptidase, antioxidants.
Right, formulated for that kind of total body wellness, recovery, inflammation balance idea.
So lots to think about. As you're considering your own health goals, maybe think about which profile the targeted fibrin buster or the broader, gentler mucus and inflammation manager might align better. Could that kind of broad-spectrum approach, incorporating something like Seaprose S, be a useful part of your daily routine for overall well-being? Certainly something worth exploring further.